yesterday as well. So I'll just do a quick recap where we are and what topics we'll cover today. So we created a new warehouse, we have integrated it, and now we are at a stage where we are setting a master data for our warehouse. We have created storage type, section, bins, doors, staging areas, and work centers. And now we have reached to a final org structure element, which is activity area. We discussed activity area in a previous session, and we understood how activity area works. Activity area is a grouping of storage bins. It is a new structure element in EWM. It was not there in WM. And with this example, what you can see on your screen, we try to understand one application of activity area where it can group the bins into a zone or a activity group to perform a certain activity. For example, we said Sid is going to pick these two aisles. So the bins of these two aisles, they are part of one group. So this group is based on activity. So we said for picking, there is going to be a zone or a group here, group of bins. But for put away, we don't have any grouping. We don't need any grouping required. So we can create groups within the storage types. We can also create individual activity areas for the activities where we don't want to do the grouping, like we call them as general activity areas. So for put away, replenishment, internal, stock change, we performed or we created activity areas which is general to the storage type, same as the storage type, because we don't want to split them. So this splitting of activity area may not be required in all the storage type, may not be required in all the activities. As of now, we have seen picking, we'll see in physical inventory also, we might use activity area concept. But for picking, definitely when we are going to pick from the hierarchy storage, we would like to have different people and different work areas assigned. So another important point here is the activity area is not restricted to a storage type. So let's say, for example, this is storage type 8002, and there is just one aisle, let's say, in 8002. So the group, let's say, Sid's group is, this is Shiva's group is SI01. I can also add bins of another storage type to Shiva's group. So Shiva's groups becomes, so the bins of Shiva's group is other ones belonging to aisle 5 and 6 of storage type 8001 and aisle 7 of storage type 8002. So this grouping of bins is very dynamic. You can have grouping of bins. Even one bin can belong to a group, one aisle can belong to a group, or this group can be extended to the whole warehouse or across storage type. We have all the flexibility in terms of this grouping of storage type into activity areas. Okay. So as part of setting up the activity areas into the system, I explained you the first thing we do is we create all the storage types with generic activity areas. There is a transaction given by SAP. We just run the transaction and system automatically creates activity areas and does the necessary assignments in the background. So this assignment will save us time in maintaining. Assignment does save us a lot of time in maintaining each node separately. So let's go and now maintain those three nodes and create these activity areas and do the necessary aisles assignment for the activity areas. So once the activity areas are completed, creations are completed, then we need to assign the bins to the activity areas. That step is called as sorting. So we'll also discuss sorting today. Okay. So any questions on activity areas before we proceed?
If just Johan, can you show the transaction again? I know you showed you copied the activity, the default activity area to all the.
Mhm.
So
All
just very quickly, and can we create manually as well more activity
Yeah,
type
we can create manually as well.
or more apart from default? There are some.
Yeah, yeah, that's what we are going to do now for
Okay, okay,
Shiva, Kabir, and Sid. We are going to create new ones.
okay. Sorry, Sid, you're asking me.
same thing, yeah. Just after running the program, there will be some steps done in the background, so we can look at those.
So let's look at what has happened in system after we created the activity areas. System has created all the activity areas. You can see general activity area for storage type 1, 2, 3. All our storage type, the activity areas are created. Now I will create 3 activities area now. Okay, this is just the creation of the activity areas. I'll say, just to keep it simple, I'll say activity area for SID is 01A. It's 01B for Kabir, and I'll name the one for Shiva is 801C. It's a activity area for 8001. So we created these activity areas. Now there is assignment of storage business to activity areas. Okay. So here let's look at the configuration that has been created by system. So WH34, you can see for 8001, all the bins are assigned. See, there is no aisle detail, there's no stack, no level details, nothing. So just a generic entry has been made that all storage type, all bins of 8001 should belong to 8001 activity area. So this is an activity area. So there is no activity here. So this assignment is required because there is one-to-one assignment for put away, one-to-one assignment for replenishment. So this assignment is okay for the generic thing. But now we need to create and say here that for our storage, for our activity the 801A, it what bins are assigned to 801A. So I'll say assign bin which start with I1 and end with IL2. Okay. Then for us for our 801B activity area, I'll say assign all the bins of aisle 3 and aisle 4. The 801C, I'll say assign all the bins of aisle 5 and aisle 6. Okay, now see our aim was to assign the bins with division of aisle with respect to aisles. You can also do stack, level, bin section, consolidation group. Basically, we'll discuss that later. We'll use this field for the deconsolidation process. Okay, and if this activity area is used, then there is an interim storage type which always needs to be used. Then we can use this for this activity area. Otherwise, we also have option to use LOSC. During LOSC, we're going to use the intermediate storage concept. Okay, so for now, we've created the activity area, and we said for these 3 activity areas that we have created, these are the bins which are assigned to those activity areas. The bins which are in aisle 1 and 2, 3 and 4, and 5 and 6. So this was the second node which was maintained automatically when we generated activity area for the storage type. Now there was also a third node.
Johan, how would I've created if I have to create an activity area with aisle 1, 6, and 4, for an example? In that assignment, there's start and end of the aisles, but how would I do
In
that?
that
Because I can
case,
assign.
you don't put anything here. If it is not in sequence, don't
You
put
don't.
anything here.
Okay.
That means you are not giving the exact bins. Here I'm giving the exact bins. You can give it in while you're sorting the bins, exactly which bin, which area you want to assign.
Okay. Just sorting.
Just keep it blank here if it is
Mhm,
not in an order.
mhm.
Okay. Now this is the third configuration, which gets maintained. So you will see here WH34 8001. There are 6 entries that are maintained here: internal, picking, put away, replenishment, stock change. So here you can see there is 1 to 1 assignment since we use a transaction for mass general creation. So here you can see 8001 storage type, 8001 activity area for put away. 8001 is the generic, replacement also generic. But now we don't want to do picking as part of 8001. We want to create separate, we have a created separate activity area for picking. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to copy this. Okay, and I'm going to say 80 activity area 801A picking in 8001. Okay, for now let us create these 3 entries and delete the entry where we say 8001 is supposed to do picking. So I'll just complete the creation first and we'll come back. So now we said these are the 3 activity areas used for picking in 8001. Okay, but we are not going to use the generic one. So I'm going to go up, page up, and I'm going to delete this entry because for picking my activity area is not 8001. So you have seen here, for my picking my activity is not 8001. So I'm going to delete this assignment. This is not required. For my picking my activity areas are 801A, B, and C, which I've maintained. Okay. So now let's go back to our WH34 801A. Okay. Here we see there's something called as sorting. These fields are optional. You can give your own sorting number through when you're sorting the bins through a Excel upload. So here, give me 1 minute, please. So I'm back. So here you can give a sort sequence. Okay. So as you mentioned, if you have something which is not standard, not easily, which you can tell the system by default, like sort or like, aisle 1 and 2, it may not be, straightforward like this. Some business may say, we don't want like this. We want aisle 1, 6, 8, whatever. Similarly, there is another thing which we configure, and if it is not that straightforward, then we keep it blank. The thing is the sort sequence. So basically here, what we say is, what is my direction of sort? So for an aisle, if I'm supposed to pick material from an aisle, I should first sort based on stack, level, bin. What is, or first I should stack as per level, or so we know this is an aisle. Okay. And then you have stacks here, and then within stack you have levels here, right? So we know that basically for an aisle we have several bins. Okay, now let's take this aisle for example, 801A. Okay, now I need to tell system, like for said, how he's going to, what is his direction of travel. For example, Sid says, I want to do 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. He wants to just pick from left and right and then keep on walking. Okay, and then 1, 2, but there are, this is just one low level bins, but there can be bins on the higher level also. It could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if it is 3 level high, so there can be 6 bins in this, at this position he can go and pick from. Then he comes here, then there may be another 6 bin. For the sake of understanding sequence, let's say these are just one bin. So Sid will pick product from here, then he'll come to here. Okay, we discuss this. We'll come here, we'll come here, we'll come here. So that is his pick path. But let's say Kabir, his pick path is, he'll first complete everything in aisle 3, and then he'll go to aisle 4. So he's going to first, his pick path is going to be 2, 6, 9, 16, 19, and then he'll come to GI zone. So basically each bin, they can have a different name. So this bin name could be 8001-01-01-A. See, bins can have a different name, and this number which is assigned to them is a sequence number. Okay, so this bin would be like 8001 dash O2, aisle is 2, O1 dash A, but this bin is given a sequence number 2 in this activity area. So now the next bin here is 8001 2A. Yeah. So this bin will be given sequence number 3. So bins, when they are assigned to an activity area, they are also assigned a sequence number. Okay. So now this sequence number can be straightforward. In case of Kabir, it's straightforward, right? It's based on stack ascending.
Sorry, Johan, is it line 36D and 37D? Is it other way around? First one is 01A.
Oh, so this is 0, 2A. Sorry, yeah, that's the other way around. And this is 2, 1A. Yeah, that's correct. So for basically said it's a non-standard sequence. Okay, we are going to give a sequence in Excel. So for said, we are going to say like this bin sequence one, this bin. So I have to use an upload transaction to give a sequence number for said. Okay, we have because he has its own sequence. Now there, so now like how we did um a transaction, general transaction, right? So their system did all the activity area creation itself. Similarly, when we are assigning this sequence, we call them as sorting. There are two ways of assigning this sequence. Option one, system does the assignment. Option two is, so sorting, the next option is user will manually upload custom sorting. So in Sid's case, it is option two. Okay. But whereas, so our aim is to, see if, we can fit in option one, because there we just need to go and execute a transaction. It will be done. We don't have to do anything. But in option two, we have to prepare an Excel file, give it to business, tell them to give the numbers. So for example, put away, picking, replacement, where we are not using the, where we are not using the sorting, or where we are not using different activity areas, I'm okay. For example, for put away, there are 10 pallets kept here. Whichever pallet comes first, it may belong. I'll scan the pallet to free up that area. It can go here, here, here. It doesn't matter to me. The sorting doesn't matter to me in put away. So in replenishment also, sorting doesn't matter. Or in replenishment, I'll prefer standard system sorting, like go here, go here, go here, go here, go here, one by one in the direction. I'm just working on an aisle. So basically, Kabir, if he's picking, he's sorting, his eye as per aisle. Okay, then stack in ascending order. Okay, and level in ascending order. So first he's going to pick from lower level, then upper level, then higher level. So let's say this is, Kabir's sorting. So for Kabir, I'm going to say sorting direction aisle ascending, sorting direction of level ascending. Okay, and stack also ascending. Okay, and here I'm going to say that sort sequence is stack and then level. We are not using bit division as of now. We can also do subdivide bin.
I-
I'll say,
i- is it you are making it in a wrong activity area, I believe?
oh, it's 801A, my bad, sorry.
I do have some question on the SIDS aisle, but please continue and we can come back on those questions.
I think I'm right here, right? 801A is for said.
Yes,
So I
yes.
was at the right place. You can see storage type is activity area is 801A.
Mhm. Oh, this is for
This will
SID.
be, but this will be an external upload one, Rohan. 801A will be the upload one, is
Yeah,
option
yeah.
one.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, you're right. So it's basically we need to Kabir's one, we
Correct,
will take
correct,
system one. Yeah.
correct.
Yeah, tell me, you were asking some question.
Yes, just to understand how these numbering. So you have given this example on SID one, SID picks one and two. So first of all, you're giving only one bin example. Now, if, if you break them down, so I understand 801 is my activity. 800 represent here my storage type. 01, what that represent, and 02, what like this sequence, what that days represent.
So this is 0, 1 is, let's say, I.
Okay,
I can say, 10, 20, 30, right? That's what we discussed. This is 10. This is stack.
this is my stack. Okay, this represent my stack.
And
Okay,
A represents level.
A represent level. Okay, you saying in this example, it it could be okay, single level. You're saying it's a single bin.
Yeah. As
Okay,
of now, I'm saying, focus on single level so that, yeah. So
okay,
here, this way, so this is I, and there are stack of 10, 20, 30 up to 90. I think we saw this example somewhere.
okay,
Yeah, somewhere in the previous sessions.
okay.
And then level ABC. Yeah, where did we have it here somewhere? Okay, need to find out.
Mm-hmm,
So this is level ABC.
mm-hmm.
So
Yes,
stack where 10,
yeah.
A to C. Yeah, that's a typical line. So now for basically for all the bins, we need to assign activity areas. So now when I'm done with
Mm-hmm,
the activity area assignment, when I open a bin, you will
mm-hmm,
see that, all these bins for put away, they'll have activity area 8001. For
mm-hmm,
picking, they will have their respected activity areas.
mm-hmm,
And then in the sorting transaction, we'll see what is the sort number. So for said,
mm-hmm,
we will upload the sorting number and see the sorting number. And for just for picking, so said is going to Sid's aisles are only for picking. We are going to sort this,
mm-hmm.
okay. But in case of put away or replenishment for Sid's bins, it's going to remain option one.
Same. Yeah. System automatic assign. That's right.
Okay. So
So yeah, so Ron, say this is uh, when we were only assigning the activity area to the picking, but there can be a scenario where we have the safety, because we safety of the location, and we want the put away and the replenishment need to be done in the same way like you are doing the picking. So in that case, what we will do right now, we have the, for example, the replenishment, we have only one activity 8001. So that will be again, we will do the repetition what we have done just for the pick.
yeah, yeah,
You're getting my point, right?
yeah,
So we because I want to avoid any sort of accident in warehouse, because the people when they drive the forklift, okay, and so I don't want that the people working, said Kabir and Shiva, to cross change, even for any of the process. So in that case, I will assign the same activity area to put up a replenishment, internal move, and inventory as well, and
yeah.
then do
You
the
can,
setup the way
yeah,
we
yeah,
are doing.
you can do that.
Yeah.
See, the overall idea is to keep your as consultants, our aim is to keep the activity areas to a minimum. Okay. It's only when it's really required. Why I'm saying, because there are a lot of dependent configuration, and and it is, you can imagine, if we, based on our experience, we consultants also sometimes face, difficulty in understanding. I've been doing this for quite some time, but I can understand first time it will be it takes time to understand these things. So for just imagine business users, they will never understand, or it will take a while for them, 6 months, 1 year time till they use the system. They'll get used to the activity areas. So it kind of complicates things for them. So we try to keep them to a minimum, only as and when it's required. So what our first approach is always, yeah, to keep it minimum first. So, and start with general. So in case of put away, there is no need to have an activity area, because we are going one pallet at a time. So whatever pallet is physically there, I'm just picking and moving it. So there it doesn't matter. Internal also it doesn't matter, because internal are, manual process. But he decides, now I want to take this pallet, move it to another bin, do a reshuffling, do a rearrangement, and all those things. For replenishment, yes, it may be required. Activity area may be required. Physical inventory, it's, product specific. So wherever the product is, system will direct me. So it doesn't matter, I have to, at the end of the day, I have to count everywhere. So it's not, or if it's bin specific, I'll select those bins and, I'll create and we'll discuss during physical inventory. But the idea is to start with generic ones, keep it simple, and only for fast moving complex warehouse where you have this, work allocation and what we'll see all the parameters going forward, and then introduce activity areas. So, uh, so basically, we start with all general for everything, and as and when we design the process, work
Then
allocation, sequence. See, this sequence is a master data. You can go from option 1 to 2 very easily. Okay, you have the config, but you don't want to config. You don't want to use a config. Just ignore it. Use the option 2. So sorting is very flexible. Just activity creation also. It's just two configs, three configs you have to do. So introducing new activity area at a later stage is also easy. It will not harm your existing stock or anything. So start with the minimum ones, and then as and when you get requirements or
right.
you understand process in more detail, you can introduce more.
Yeah, and yeah. Thank you, Ron. Ron, you have assigned aisle 1 and 2 to activity area 801A, and then you have assigned aisle 4 and 5 and 5 and 6 in the previous config note. So this aisle we assign in the bin master then, because
Yes, we will have this aisle number in the bin. We have seen, when we created bins,
yeah.
we assign them an activity number. Number. Let's see that. So these are the bins that we created, and we can see here it's a bin aisle 1. All are of aisle 1 as of now. But yeah, you can see.
Okay.
So now these bins, we have to sort them and give them a sequence number. We'll try both ways, but let me create some more bins, so some other aisles also, so that we
Yeah.
can see the impact. So what I'm going to do.
So this aisle mentioning this aisle is mandatory in case of the system,
Yeah,
system sorting,
system.
right?
Yes,
Sorting.
sort
And in
bins.
case, and in case of the upload file, these can be optional because the sequence we are giving in the upload file, right? The option
Yes,
2.
yeah, it will be optional.
So option 2 here is a sales example, right? Sales sequence we are working. Correct. We're gonna
Yeah,
use option 2 for
option
yeah,
said.
option 2. Option 2. Okay, we're gonna
Option 2 is a custom upload, yeah.
right.
This will be again tricky one.
There's a lot of configuration in this sheet just to start the process.
Yeah. So what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to create bins in mass. There is this bin structure.
Can we have a look on this one? It's always confusing.
So here, what I'm going to say is, like, let me see. Let me present. So this is a transaction. It was also there in WM. The aim of this transaction is to create bins in mass, through system, it
L
will create all
LS10,
those bins, whatever we have
LS10,
discussed.
right? Yogan? LS10.
Yeah, LS10 in WM, that's correct. Yeah. So here we'll say 8001, create all the bins of 8001. Okay. Start from aisle 1 to aisle 6. Yeah. This is my start, this is my end. And I'll say do increment from 10 to 90. Yeah. And the per stack increment is 10. Okay. And level, I think its level is just one character. One. So we'll say keep it as A and go up to B.
So it's a 2 level, right? A.
Oh, sorry, go up to C. We need C, isn't it? 3 level,
Yeah.
isn't it?
3 levels.
So I'll keep it as one like this. Let's see whether system will consider that or not.
Yeah, and that template on the top, C, 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 N, N, and this is characters, numbers, something like that.
Yeah. So C stands for character, N stands for numeric, and A stands for alphabet letters. So this should be A actually. So let me put it as A. So I'm not going to maintain any section, bin type, and other things here. Storage group also I'm not going to maintain. So we create this bin structure here in the config, and then there is a transaction. Show SCWM/ls10 where we create them in mass. So this is the bin we are creating. We'll go and say edit, or there's an option here, create bins. So you will see here system is doing increment ABC. While okay, you can see 3 bins already existing. While one stack 10 level ABC, those are already existing. Apart from that, system is creating the other bins, all the bins, and doing a correct increment. So 10, 20A, sorry, 120A, 130A, then 140A, and then after all the bins of aisle ones are complete, it's going to aisle 2. So it will go up to aisle 6. Okay. And the bins are also going to be assigned to the aisle numbers.
So in the config, Rohan, you just provided the rules, right?
Yeah, I
Okay,
just
the
provided a
creation is
template.
through ls10. Okay.
Yeah, I just provided a template for
Okay.
this transaction to create.
Mm.
Do you wish to create?
So
Yes, I wish to create.
generally, this activity should be quite up in front, because before you do activity on all that.
Yeah, you can,
Mhm,
bin master before you,
mhm,
while you're setting up your master data, just
mhm.
before activity areas, your bin should be created.
So I have never used this functionality. And generally, it was because they already have their own structure, right? In when you go to implement WMUN, so it was always like in
They,
my experience. Yeah. So
no,
if it is a
I'll tell you, everywhere, they don't use this because,
yeah,
they may not be this straightforward, and they
yeah,
may be, they'll say, okay, I have few bins in aisle 1 which are blocked due to pillar, or,
yeah,
due to some, those do not exist. It will still create them. So then you have to go and identify those bins and delete them. So
absolutely.
manual work.
Yeah,
LSMW is better for WM.
yeah, yeah.
Excel upload is better for the WM.
You can, sorry, I have one question here. See,
Mhm.
when we enter the template in the bin definition,
Mhm.
that CCC you maintained, right? See,
Mhm.
actually, the dot is okay. Dot we consider as a C, but 8001 is number, right? Why we consider as a C?
See, character means we don't need to give any increments for them. It's a fixed for all my bins. It's a fixed character.
Oh, okay,
It is not
okay.
going
If
to
it is a
change.
fixed, we need to put it a character, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. But if it is increment, we need to create as number.
Number, yeah.
But even
Life.
number also, even though the number maintained in the template, if it is a fixed, we need to create maintain as a character, right?
Yeah. See here, even if I say N,
Uh,
okay,
uh,
and I put 8001
uh.
and I don't give an increment here, it is still the same. I'm saying, consider this as
Oh.
character and ignore it.
Mhm.
And you have to change this template for each storage type because it's
That's
only created for it. So, okay, every time you generate that, you go and change, update it, and then generate.
yeah.
Right.
Uh,
And the load program, just sorry, one more question. This with this load program, is it also out of box in standard, or are you talking about
No, it's a
uh,
standard. We discussed it last time when we were creating bins. We used it also.
right? Yes, you might have.
Yogan, okay. Sorry to interrupt. Yogan,
Mhm.
here actually, I have one question. See, you told right. See, if we have not entered this increment, how we will see once we maintain only 10 and 1. Okay, for this case, when we enter 10 and 1 as an increment, system considers second place as a 10 and 1 or first place 10 and 1.
This one for stack.
No. You already told, right? See, if we maintain n, 5n in the first template, the template, if we maintain n, 5, the 5 character, here actually 8001 maintained in start value and the end value. Here, we are not supposed to enter the increment. System considers
That's correct.
only
Yeah, there is no
considers
increment.
8001. But here, actually, when we enter the here increment, 10 and 1 we enter here, right? See, when we enter a 10 and 1, system considers the second digit or sixth digit or first digit. I have a little confusion.
I don't understand where 10
No,
and
no, sir. No, sir. Actually, see, here increment is there, right? That column,
yeah.
bottom. See, here you already told. See, if it is n, 5 digit n means system considers a number, and if you are not given the increment, okay.
Mhm.
But here, actually, here we are not maintaining the first increment, first 2-digit increment, right?
Mhm.
Okay. But here the first also blank is there. How system consider?
System will not consider increment for characters. So these are constants, you know.
Okay. Okay. My question here is,
Mhm.
if suppose if we maintain as n, then what will be the scenario here at increment?
Same. Keep it blank. No
Okay.
increment.
Mm-hmm.
Your question was, you know, why we are maintaining NNNN. I said you can even if you maintain NNNN and keep
Ah,
this blank, there is no increment. See, for example,
ah,
if I do a bin, let's say I create only 3 bin. I'll say O110A
ah.
and 8001 O130A, and I
Okay.
don't give this. So there is nothing here, right? I'm not incrementing I. So I'll keep it
Oh,
blank.
okay. See, based on the start value and end value, the digit value based on that numeric or character,
Will
that
be
in this place will place the decimal will place here, right?
yeah, yeah,
Okay. For example, if we give here 10 character and numeric means here increment also open for 10, right?
yeah, that's correct.
Okay. Fine. Thank you.
And you also have several examples here from SAP. You can refer any one of them. I just try to
Yeah.
see
Actually,
whatever
this
is there
actually
in the template. I use the same way.
I already used this template in my WM project. Actually, I little confused some when we configure these templates.
Mhm.
Sometimes system is behaving in a different way. There's a lot of errors when we
Okay.
create the bins.
In EWM, I haven't used in any of my projects. Just for creating for test purpose,
Oh,
I'm using them
okay.
because Excel upload is very
Yeah,
flexible.
yeah. See, actually, this is very important. This point is very important. So when we go for LS10, when we upload that storage bin, system
Mhm.
throw an error. If anything happen, one digit also is create an error. See, instead of n you put c means it throw an error, right?
Yeah, see,
Yeah.
yeah, you have to do some trial. You know, you have to save
Mm-hmm.
template, create and see. That's why simulation is there. You can simulate and see what it is creating and what is not creating. So,
Mm-hmm. Got it.
yeah,
Thank you.
okay. Okay, so now it's time to do the sorting. So first,
Johan, I apologize. Can you very quickly show that Excel you created and that load program which you did used in the past?
So, and there are two transaction you on, right? One is for the loading and one is for the sorting.
Yeah.
So we have to, if we were doing external load and sorting, then we have to use the sorting transaction, right? To load the bins.
Yes. No, you can also use see, they are independent. If you're using them external upload, doesn't mean that it always has to be external upload sorting. You can still go with system approach.
Okay, so this shows that, and this Excel template you downloaded, right? And then you,
Yes.
okay, okay, so it is available on the and you uploaded the CSV file. Okay, I remember that bit.
It's also there in the documents.
Okay.
So I'm going to do the same for the sorting as well.
Mhm.
So for sorting, the transaction is, so I have got all my bins created. The bins are still not assigned to activity area. Okay. So now first thing I'm going to do is, so for storage type, like the transaction is SBST. It's there in our slide also. No need to worry remembering this. So, okay. So first thing I'm going to do is the storage type that those don't need sorting. I'm just going to simply run it blank. I don't have any bins there, but I'm just going to run it blank for them. That means do a custom. I'm not going to use for staging area, for example. Staging area, I don't need sorting at all. There is just few bins, 3 bins. You know why I need to do some fancy sorting? So I'll just go and simply execute it. That's it. I will not
And
even look at the sequence.
yeah, and this
See, this
sorting is
is
a this sorting is a cutover activity. We do it open client.
yeah, for initial bins, and then thereafter, whenever new bins are created, they have to be sorted by business as master data. Okay. So now store in a warehouse, only 8001 needs some attention while doing sorting. Other storage types, I'll just simply run it blank. So now 89010, let's look at the bins of 9010. I've just sort them out. You can see now they all are assigned to activity area 9010. And if I want to see the sequence for the bins, I'll just come here and
Logan, sorry to interrupt. What is that transaction, that mass change for bins?
LS11.
Less level. Okay. Same.
Yeah,
Wait.
same. A slash and SCWM as a prefix, and then
Okay, got
LS.
it.
Okay. So there are different ways I like this transaction. We'll see warehouse monitor also, where you can get this information. Okay, so let's do generic sorting of A001 for put away. So put away is a generic sorting here. So we are going with the config specific sorting for put away 001. So in that case, let me do every sorting. So 8001, you can see it's not going to sort picking. See, it is sorting everything because we deleted that assignment, isn't it?
Yeah,
So it's going to do a general sorting, customs config specific sorting. It's doing here and we'll simply execute it. That's it. So here the bins of 8001, let's go into those bins again. You will see they are assigned to all activity areas except picking. Okay. So now generic sorting, like we create a generic area, generic sortings. Only in picking we have to test, config relevant sorting or upload sorting. So let's look at the config sorting first. So 801C, I am not going to work into that. Let's simply sort it. See, everything is picking. Just I'll simply sort it away and just come out of it. Let's come to Kabir sorting, um, which is a config driven sorting 801B. And here is where I'll come and check how system is assigning. Okay, so first it is assigning bin of aisle 3 10A, and that means this bin, sorry, this bin here. Okay, and then 320A, 330A. So basically what it is doing, it is first going through the lower level, all the bins of lower level. Okay, because we said level should be in ascending order. Okay, then it is going through all the B second level bins of aisle 3, and then it's going through third level bins of aisle 3, and then it is starting you know the fourth aisle. Okay, it will cover all the lower level bins of fourth aisle, and then the above, and then the above. So first all the A, and you can see a sort number is given. So whenever Kabir starts picking, if the picking is supposed to pick, so the pick order is to pick from these two pins, let's say 320A and 370B. System will first tell Kabir to pick from 320A and not from 370B. Now, while you are checking the sorting, okay, you have agreed with business, should be my sort. You can do the config, come and check, how the sortings are being determined by system. If you're happy, go ahead with that. The preference is use config because you'll save efforts in Excel upload, and so only for only for special scenarios, special racks or VNA, we use VNA, narrow reach truck. All those cases we use custom sorting, or I would say, when I say custom sorting, means Excel upload. Otherwise, we use the standard sorting. We try to use standard as much as possible. We play with that config and see the sort numbers are determined by system. So why we propose standard sorting? Because as a BAU, as a maintenance point of view, also it helps business. They just come and they just have to execute it here. But when it is custom, they have to go find the Excel, change it, load it. It's a tedious task, especially in production environment whenever they change their bins or introduce new bins.
So just very quick question here. If I have, let's say in this, I have 8001, yeah, you got 0310A, and then in my pick order, then I've got 801 uh, 0 for the next, I've got B, right? But then I'm picking same again, but then 8003, but level, middle level. So do I do first lower level, then go to the second stack or whatever stack next, lower level, and then come back for the middle level stack?
So here, so what Kabir is doing, he's only picking from low level in aisle 3. First, he's completing everything in lower level. Then he's
Mhm.
completing the middle level. Okay. And then he's completing the top level of aisle 3. Now, you can also see, like, you don't want Kabir to do this way. You want Kabir to, like, first complete everything in stack 10,
Correct. Yeah.
then stack 20, then stack 30. So how are we going to achieve that? We'll say here in the config, the stack should as ascending, but
Uh-huh.
don't sort the levels. Keep it blank.
Okay. Leave the black. Then you complete
Yeah.
the stack.
So level will be, then level will be, it will always do all the 10s first, then 20s, then 30s, and so on.
Mhm. It won't bring the level element into it.
It will not.
It will do first A, it will do of 10, then it will do B of 10, and then it will do C of
Yes.
10.
10. Yeah, so on.
Correct. It's only three. So would that be more ideal? Is that how in your real project will do? Because you're not gonna go lower levels and then come back and try.
See, why this can also be a scenario where, for example, lower level he can pick by hand. If it is middle level,
Mhm.
he'll first pick everything by hand. Then for B and C, he has to bring a truck,
Yeah.
a forklift.
Now when you go to B&Q and you have something on the top, you have to ask, oh, get me some product. So they get a special truck to bring in to
Bring it.
get the product out.
Okay.
They can also see, it all depends on, how the warehouse,
Mhm.
their culture is, how they pick, and what kind of, what kind of manual process they follow. So it all
Mhm.
depends. Based on your workshop, you should be able to drill this down.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay. It could depend on that as well.
So, and there will be a resource, something with the resource as well, Johan, resource assignment. Because
We'll come to resource. It's
yeah,
a
yeah,
master data.
but it has some connection with that as well, right? Some sort of
Resource
connection.
is nothing but Sid, Kabir, and Shiva. They are resources.
Mhm.
So that's what we'll create their resource, and we'll see they're only working in their aisle. They are not given work of some other aisle.
Yeah, and now you have changed the now you have changed the the sequence. You know the rule. Now we can rerun the sorting again, and it should update, right?
Yeah, you need to be careful. You need to first delete the sorting and then
Okay.
rerun it.
Okay. Yeah. That's...
You can see the resource Yogan and Shiva is manual process. Otherwise, if it is some forklift, some other resource will add here, right? Yogan,
Sorry, I didn't get your question, Shiva.
you can actually see it's a manual picking. We consider Yogan and Shiva as a resource. So if it is automatic picking, some other resource is required, right? Forklift or
Yeah. That's correct. So this is a manual resource. So so then we'll discuss some resource. What when you take manual, when you take forklifts. But yeah, since
so
you already
complex.
worked
Actually,
on it.
it's a complex is the same aisle level and stack and level. Complex scenario will be there, or manual and automatic.
You can have both. It will be mixed.
Okay.
Let's park resources. There are many things we need to cover as a
Okay. Okay.
prerequisite.
Fine.
Yeah, just understand at this point these are nothing but resource master data.
Okay.
Whether they'll use forklift, toggle train, tow trains, we'll talk all about those things.
Fine.
Okay,
Thank you.
so now here you can see 801B has been assigned for picking to aisle 3. Okay. Now it's time to do the sorting, custom sorting for bins of aisle 1 and 2. So the transaction is CWM, SBUP or SRTUP. And this is mentioned in the slide. So okay, if at all you want to refer it, you can go to the slide again.
Just so here we are doing. Why it is not here? We are doing manual. This one is here. So yeah. So if question, if we were just loading the bin, then we will be using SBUP, right? And
That's correct.
then we will do the sorting, the system proposed sorting if we have the bin, right? Now, if we want to do the sorting by the Excel as well, then the load need to be done through SRTUP, which will do the loading as well as the sorting.
That's correct.
So, and what? Okay, yeah.
Can you come back again? Sorry.
Yeah, 1 minute. Let me copy this pins. Yeah, tell me.
So if I'm understanding correct, what Sid explained is if you just doing loading, which is if you just creating a bins by upload program, you use
Mm-hmm.
different transaction. But if you're doing creation of bin and sorting of those bins, it will
Mm-hmm.
use this transaction, which is what you were showing SUB something. Art.
See,
Yeah.
see, there
Is
are
that correct?
see. I know where you guys are getting confused. There's no relation between creation and sorting. Okay, well, you create it through any means. You create it
Mm-hmm,
manually.
mm-hmm,
You create it through LS10, the mask transaction which I showed you. You create to upload.
mm-hmm,
No relation to how you do the slotting. Okay, so it's not like
mm-hmm,
you do a custom upload, you do a bin upload, and then you only have to do the upload via program. It doesn't matter. You create it whichever way. You sort whichever way. You have two options to do the sorting: manual sorting, sorry, the system automatic sorting, or the custom sorting. So you do the sorting whichever way. The bin can be created in any way. Sorting can be done in any way. There is no restrictions here.
no restriction. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so now, so let me. What did we say for? Mhm.
801A.
Yeah, that's what saw this. I think I've taken a wrong warehouse.
It's a 5 level, right? Yeah. It's A, B,
Mm,
C, D, E.
no, actually 3 level, isn't it? We said 3 level.
Yes.
Why okay, that day we created 5 bins
Five
only.
level you
Yeah,
created,
yeah, so
yes.
we don't need these two because I'll delete them. Here just 3 levels, yeah. So these are the bins, and let me say, I'll do all bins. Let me give some number to them. Let me say I'll do first all. Paste them here. I'll do some random bin numbers. Yeah. So I'll say first I'll go to the lower level of bin on aisle A, and then I'll go to the bin in aisle
You
2.
didn't create,
Oh,
you did
aisle
not
2.
created that. You have
I
to
need to
copy.
bring aisle 2 as well. Okay. So let me do this way. Then I'll say X, Control B.
Okay.
So like that, let me take one of aisle A, one of aisle B, like
There's a lower level first. Okay. Become middle level. Right.
something like this. Okay. And I'll just stop at aisle 2. Yeah. Just to save time, I'll just sort these two only. So this is my warehouse, WH34.
Activity 801A.
It is H01A. So the activity is pick.
Oh,
Activity area
activity
is
area.
1A. Storage type is 001. Not interested in any of these section and aisle things. Okay.
What's the difference between column D and column I, sort sequence and sequence number?
So if you look at this, these are sort sequence SBST. So when you upload this transaction, you can give in the upload different sequence numbers to determine each separate load. So everything is one. So if you want to give another, while loading this transaction, if you want to give another sequence, you can give that. So I can give another sequence of my load that first load this and then load the next transaction, next set of bins.
Oh, okay. So it's just
Th- th-
okay. It has
This
no
is
purpose,
this
basically.
yeah
This
yeah
is the one.
this is the one which is
Mhm.
important.
Right. Understand. Okay.
File save as, I'll save it as a .csv.
So here you will not give IL, and that is not mandatory, right? Because you
Yeah,
are doing.
that's yeah. Okay. Custom sorting bin has the IL information.
So if we have that IL detail in case, even in the load file, then we can use the system sorting.
Bin details in the load file. IL details in the load file.
Yeah, I'm doing it the load file. So what I did, I loaded my bins with the load file. Okay. And when I'm doing the load file, I have already also populated the aisle detail in that, like which bin belong to which aisle, right? And the same aisle need to be set up in the configuration what you have done earlier for the activity area. Then the system sorting can be executed, right?
See, if you want system to consider your IL and do sorting for you, then you use the standard one, right? So this aisle, we already have the aisle information and the bin. We already have that aisle information in the bin. I don't want to look at the aisle information at this point because I'm not following any aisle. This is totally custom. I don't want to follow any aisles. This I have prepared in Excel. This is due to some order which business gave me. They have their own way of working. So but they have given me their order in which they want to pick. We have made it a and for our warehouse we have said they pick one from aisle A, one from aisle B, and do that till they complete all the stacks. But aisle is not looked into it. Aisle stack level details of the bins are not looked into it.
Okay. Yeah. Got it.
Just bins are assigned to a number from here. Okay, so I've created sorting, and then we can, if you want to see the sequence number, you can just go to /NSAWM/SBST, yeah, 8001801A. You can see these are the bins which we sorted, and this is the sequence in which we sorted. And then we can also look at those bins. And they will be assigned to activity area. /801A. So this way, activity areas are assigned to bin, sort sequences are assigned to bin. So this is just a data setup. This assignment will obviously have its impact in the execution, but also it will also have impact on the work allocation, who gets assigned what work, how the total, you know, order, if it comes for picking, how it is splitted across the aisles, it's splitted across the storage type. So this is one of the main concerns we had in WM, which we SAP has tried to overcome with EWM. So each time we had to, we had to prepare a work area, we had to create separate storage type. So in this 8001, if it was WM, we would have created 3 storage type out of 801A, 801B, we would have created 3 storage type. But here, keeping storage type separate, the grouping is a virtual grouping, and it helps us with giving us the required flexibility. Okay. So any questions, anything else, anybody would like to discuss on these
Yogan,
structure
Yogan, there one
elements?
question. One question here. See, when we do for custom sorting,
Sorting.
what are
Mhm.
the prerequisite in system other than storage bin creation?
The activity area should be created. That's
Okay,
it.
first storage bin and activity area both. There is no config level settings.
Nothing else. No config to do the assignments or anything. Just the activity area setting. The activity area should be created.
Okay.
Should be assigned to an activity. All the 3 config for activity area that we saw today, those all should be maintained.
For config level, that storage bin and activity area that should be maintained, right?
Yes, yes.
And transaction level, we need to create a bin and activity area, right?
Activity is not transaction. Activity is config.
Oh, sorry.
Neither
Only
bin is
storage.
transaction. Bin is master data.
Okay.
So we need to create bins, and we need to create activity area. So we need to decide how we are creating activity area, either through general creation, or we can create one by one as we did for 801B and C.
Okay. Thanks.
Okay. So I'll be coming back to this example when we execute picking and put away into 8001, when we do work allocation, resource assignments, and all those things. So we'll keep this example and we will move ahead with the next topic. So next topic, I don't think we have much time, but let me give you an overview. What are we going to cover next? We are going to start with master data. So we are going to discuss product master data, and we are going to discuss packaging specification. So tomorrow we will be starting with the product master data. So in product master data, we'll discuss how the master data are created and what is the way the master data is maintained, metal master data is maintained and extended to EWM. There is slight difference in terms of which deployment we are working with. It's a decentralized, S4HANA decentralized, or a normal decentralized. So we'll talk about first the creation of master data, and then the important fields, how to extend the products to the storage type, and to the warehouse, and what level the data is maintained. We'll discuss all these things, important fields. And then this week we'll talk about product master data, and then we'll also talk about, after product master data, we'll also talk about packaging specification in more detail. So packaging specification is basically the master data which will help us to automate handling unit creation. So for understanding packaging specification, we'll spend a lot of time on understanding the handling unit creation. What is handling unit? We'll first create a handling unit, then we'll automate that handling unit using PackSpec. Okay. There's some background noise, guys. Please keep yourself on mute if you're not speaking. Thank you. So we are going to talk about the different master data. For example, how we handle these master data during cutover. So how do we handle product master data? How do we handle packaging specifications? Then as we go ahead, we will also discuss about this master data unit. Will talk more about pack spec and product master, and then the next unit when we start RF, we are going to talk about the resource as a master data. Okay, so basically we are going to cover 3 master data: first product, pack spec, and then as part of unit 3, resources. There are several other master data which at this point of time I'm not going to discuss them. For example, routes, because we'll discuss this as part of our outbound process. Production supply area we'll discuss as part of production integration. Obviously PSA bin assignment also. So they are specific to the process. We need to deep dive into the process to understand those specific master data. So I'm not going to create them or discuss them at this point of time. I'll focus more on the products and pack specs because they are going to be used across processes and resources also. And then other master data we'll slowly introduce as we go ahead. So I've just mentioned here, in case we come across data migration, what are the important migration objects and what is handled using cutover. So SAP, also creates location in the background for every shipping point, every supply chain unit, every business partner. SAP creates a location. We don't have to do anything for that. So this location, no action, this is not a master data. Basically, it is an object required by the system, SCM system, but we don't use them. Product master data, it will be covered in data migration in project. We'll talk about the mass upload of product masters. Business partner data, we need business partners, especially in decentralized system, where we create them either using SIF or IDOC. Supply chain unit, they are not many numbers, right? So we do them as cutover, like we have created supply chain unit for our shipping point, supply chain unit for the warehouse. So we try to cover it as part of cutover. Packaging material, packaging specification, we do a migration for those. We'll talk about the migration transaction, data migration transaction. Routes, production supply area, we do them as cutover because they are not many numbers. There is another master data called PSA bin assignment. I'm surprised SAP has not given any upload transaction for that. In all our projects, we end up, we have to create a custom object to do the migration or upload for PSA bins. So when we talk about production process, we'll discuss this master data, and then I'll again mention there that this is you may have to create a custom object to load a PSA bin assignment.
What does PSA stand for?
Production supply area.
But here we are talking about the control cycle, right?
Control cycle is different. PSA is different.
Assignment is different. Okay.
Yogan, one
Control
question.
cycle is not a EWM master data. It's basically a production master data.
Okay.
Yogan, here PSA bin you mentioned, right? That is, we call it as WIP bins or how this?
This is bins in the production, so production storage type is divided into several individual small areas, supply areas where we supply the parts. So the production
This is not
line,
a WIP. This is not WIP bins.
no, WIP means are you talking about interim bins?
No, I'm talking about this. If, for example, you take conveyor. See, for example, in a wire, we will take a scenario of wiring harness. See, in wiring harness, actually, all the assembly happen within the conveyor. See, that conveyor, they have a lot of bins. Okay,
Yeah.
in each workstation, and they have a lot of bins. That see, we're talking about that particular bins or
No. This is
okay.
specific to production process.
Okay. This is not the WIP bins, right?
No.
Okay.
We don't
But
have any.
then what is the difference between PSA bins and normal bins?
Hold on, let me complete.
Yeah.
There is no concept like WIP bins. We'll discuss when we talk about conveyors.
Yeah.
PSA bins are the bins which are in the production area. As of now, let's park it here. In the production process, we'll discuss more about it. So basically the whole area, production area is split into separate supply areas and bins. So just at this point of time, the bins
Okay.
in the production area. So where we supply the part in production and then they use it. These are production area bins.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Resources, we spoke about briefly about resources, the users that are going to execute the transaction. They are one type of resources. There are several other types of resources, and resources are not many number. We create them as a cutover activity. We don't need to create a we don't need to have a data migration team involved, or we don't have to create a custom object. They are very few in number, and then we do it as part of cutover. Bins, we do involve our data migration team, and we need them to get the information from business and execute this upload for us, because the bins can be in thousands. And for all our projects, the recommendation is to get these as a data migration object. Another important data migration object which we'll discuss while we are covering this is stock upload. Okay, so like we have upload transaction for bins and bin sorting, we also have upload transaction for loading the stock 561 stock into EWM. So if you have time, you can try the template. It's there in the material section, material folder. But yeah, we will as we go ahead, we'll talk about that data migration activity as well.
Yeah, that will be a
So
good one to see.
yeah, we will go for that. So let's do this way. Product rack specs, we discuss them and their data migration strategies, how we handle them. Then we'll do the stock, and then we'll cover resources.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just for the product master, it is again the LSMW, or we have some automatic tools, Rohan?
We have an automatic tool for product
Okay,
master.
product master. And when we were migrating from ECC to S4HANA, then we have some tools, right? If we are not changing the naming convention or something like that, so we can again get the same number in ECC to S4HANA, right?
Yeah, that's correct. You can do a migration from WM to EWM, and
Yeah.
how in that case, how we handle this master data, we'll discuss that as well.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. And one more thing, in the last week session, we did work center, and in work center, there was one object I was looking at, work center layout, which control a lot of parameter. We're going to cover that later, or we will?
Yeah, we'll be covering that later.
Okay, yeah.
You can
Rohan,
you can one
sorry,
sorry
Shiva,
sorry sorry.
go on.
Yogan, I have one question here. See, actually,
Sure.
as already you told that virus element, most of the topics we already covered, right? Is there anything pending?
Whereas structure,
Where structure element.
no, we have nothing else pending as part of structure.
Okay. Yogan, actually, I have one question here. This response. Actually, we have different different virus element, right? Like staging area, the storage from starting from doors, then staging area, and different area is there, right? See how system is when we perform the transaction level data, how the system is determining. For example, staging area, how the system is determining.
System determines based on rules. So we have to set up rules in the system.
Okay.
So there are different
For
ways.
example, storage.
You can,
For example, we take storage type. Storage type based on the search sequence configuration system pick that storage type. See how that the similar way how the staging area is determining.
see, staging area is determined through your process type. First thing,
Oh,
if it is
okay.
one staging area, and then we also have a transaction for staging area determination. Using that also we can determine the staging area.
That we'll discuss later.
That we'll discuss later as part of process. So we need to see, which route, which staging area it is going, and
Yeah.
we'll do that.
See, you can. Sorry to ask you. See, actually, this is very important topics. Whenever we go for the interview, right? definitely they will ask this question. Actually, how the determination happening? From storage type, storage bin determination, and staging area, and how the system determining GI staging area and GR staging area, and this all the very important topic actually. See, if you conduct one session, it would be good.
See, as I said, it's a structured course. I don't want to, break the sequence, because
Okay.
these are interlinked to each other, because we will be going in a different place if we disturb the sequence. So I request, let's proceed.
Okay. Okay.
It's not too far. We'll discuss them.
So
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah,
nothing is
staging for the good shift, Shiva, already covered by Rohan. So he already covered that staging area config and even in the
yeah, but
previous
I think
section.
he is saying how the determination works.
Determination. Actually, the staging area is
Creation, but yeah,
Kabir. Actually, this staging area already covered in front end level. See, I am talking about determination. How system is determined staging area.
Okay, yeah.
so
That is
let's
very
wait
important
for
topic. Yeah.
let's wait for that session. We will definitely cover that. But yeah, let's not break the sequence. And in terms of interview, everything is important. Even activity area is important.
Yeah,
Tomorrow,
that is
product
true.
master we are discussing, that is also being important. So let's follow sequence, because it's structured. Everything is linked. So I don't want you to take to a topic and then you have that even more confuses you. So let's
Yeah.
follow this sequence.
Yeah.
And we'll definitely discuss the staging areas, determination, everything. Don't worry.
Right, I have to leave now. Sorry.
Thank you,
Okay.
sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you
Johan,
all.
very quickly, your PPT is not same. What is uploaded? The one you're going through is different, I think, and the one which is there on, or is it same? No, I think they
It's
were old
same.
one.
Let me see. Which one you're checking?
I'm checking on the module 1 PPT,
Now I'm in
or
module 2, right? This is Vera structure and master data.
okay, you're looking at module 2. So page 31, which you were earlier. Okay, module 2, page 31. Talked about master data. Is it same which master data we're gonna start? Okay. Storage type.
You can. Could you please tell your user ID? Actually, I want to assign all role. Whichever your role you have, the same role I have to assign in my user ID.
Okay. So use my user ID as EWM Rohan.
No. Please give that username.
EWM Rohan.
Please
That's
ping,
my SAP user ID.
please ping that in chat.
Okay, I'll do that.
And you can one more thing actually. Other important topic in S4 EWM is Fiori tiles. See, when you explain all master data level transaction, could you please incorporate this tiles as well? This EWM tiles.
Yes, Shiva, we have just started. We'll
Yeah.
come
Okay.
slowly. Don't worry.
Okay.
Don't. We are not going to skip anything. So it will come. Just wait.
Okay.
Picture
Okay.
abhi
Actually,
baki hai,
see,
I should say that.
yeah, Rogan. Actually, we are new in that all this Fiori part. Actually,
Yeah.
see, we
So
are. Yeah.
rest assured, it will come. Don't worry. If
Yeah.
at all we are in a last week and you see something, then you put this to me.
Oh,
And
okay.
trust me, you will not have anything left.
Okay, Rogan. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, then I think yeah. So I think
Thanks for sharing this
I think
user ID, Rogan. Thanks for
yeah, you
sharing.
can copy. Yeah, no problem. So yeah, is the PPT fine?
Still, you were on page 31 when you talked about. If I look at a module 2, page 31 is talking about location, whereas yours talked about
Okay.
the
Let
master
me share
data.
my screen. I'm also on 31, but that's a different slide.
Yes. So
You see this? Page 31 is also location for
oh,
me.
it's also location. Okay, model 2. Right, right. I think I overlooked something. No, that's fine then.
Okay.
So even I'm configuring my warehouse. So what I
Mhm.
will do if I stuck something. So I'm doing some basic setup what you were asked then in the session, like creating all the storage type.
Mhm.
Then I'm adding some more, adding to the different storage type as well, where I'm bringing some sections. So if I stuck, then I'll put it on you. Yeah. So I'll try
Yeah,
to do that. Yeah. And then,
correct.
yeah.
And so, yeah, just one point, while you're raising queries, you can just do a subscribe for page changes. So when I reply, you'll get an email. Yes. So I
Yeah.
hope somebody might have told you from admin team, you have to subscribe to page changes. So when you're posting this, since I've subscribed, I get an email.
Yeah.
And when I reply here, you'll get an email.
Okay. So subscribe change. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, come here in settings and say subscribe to page
Oh,
changes or from page changes.
okay.
Yogan, one more request actually. That Friday class cancellation, I don't have any information.
Even okay, you have raised a request, admin team will
Yeah, see,
reply
actually,
on that.
I was waiting more than 20 minutes. Actually, no one joined that session.
Yeah, actually, admin team reached out to me saying
Yeah,
that.
actually, they supposed to inform me, right? Actually, they didn't tell anything.
Yeah.
See, what I thought in a different way. Actually, see, that day Kabir told, right, some daylight saving. I thought that the class are completed.
No, no,
Oh,
it wasn't. It hasn't started. It will start.
Okay.
We'll update the time when they're changing. End of this month, to be very
Okay,
precise.
okay,
But
okay.
sorry about that. Yeah, I should have posted the comment as well because yeah, some
Yeah,
of us were traveling
but I
for
don't
the
have
meeting.
yoga number actually. If I have
So
yoga
Shiva,
number, I would have called.
so Shiva,
But
if you ping your number, we got a group. Okay. That
yeah,
means we
yeah,
can align among ourselves. So if you ping your number in the chat box, yeah, no?
yeah, I'll pick now.
Yeah. So that will be, we can add you up in case of, sometime you have something. We
so I
would,
think
we would like,
2nd November is the date from where we have a time 1 hour late. Yeah.
Oh, it's
What?
31st of October, Sunday,
Yeah,
last Sunday.
yeah,
but the
but
class we will add from the
class
Tuesday.
was 2nd November.
Yes, yes, 2nd of November it will change.